But we want to get right to the latest developments on our top story. Authorities identifying a person of interest in that Brooklyn subway shooting.
Almost a day into the manhunt now after smoke grenades were set off in a crowded subway car during morning rush hour. The shooter then opened fire, more than 24 people injured, 10 suffering gunshot wounds. As you see right there, the NYPD is stepping up police presence at subway stations around the city right now. We're going to speak with the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, in just a few moments.
We're also going to hear from one of the eyewitnesses who was on his way to work on that train in the next car over when the rampage began. But first, let's go to Amy, who's there in Brooklyn for us. Good morning, Amy.
Hey, good morning, Robin. It was a horrific scene here in Brooklyn yesterday morning. Yes, at the height of the morning commute, a subway train pulls into this 36th Street station. Smoke fills the train, and then at least 33 gunshots rang out, leaving dozens of people on that train injured and bleeding. As you might imagine, those panicked commuters then rushing out of the train, many of them children on their way to school.
This morning, authorities named 62-year-old Frank R. James as a suspect in the subway shooting, which caused chaos and fear in the middle of the morning rush hour. James, who remains on the run, was spotted wearing a green construction vest and gray hoodie and mumbling to himself, according to police. Then, minutes before 8:30 a.m., putting on a gas mask and setting off 2 smoke grenades, then allegedly opening fire on the train packed with Manhattan-bound commuters.
He then fired that weapon at least 33 times.
Police say no officers were positioned inside that station and none of the cameras were working. But passengers' phones captured an image of the suspect and the moment the moving crime scene pulled into the station. Smoke and panicked and wounded people pouring out of the open doors.
I saw a lot of people coming out of the train station. One of them was injured. She was shot right in her leg. She was bleeding all over.
I seen a couple people walk out and they just fell in the middle of the street.
29 victims were treated at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, including 10 with gunshot wounds.
He tried shooting me while I jumped over. So he tried to shoot me twice. And he missed both times on my leg. Both times. I got lucky.
Officials say extended magazines were found amid the chaos and that without that jam, the carnage could have been much worse. Investigators saying they also recovered a cache of other weapons and ammunition, including a hatchet, gasoline, more smoke grenades, and commercial-grade fireworks.
Clearly, this individual boarded the train and was intent on violence.
Now, in at least 3 different cities, police and federal investigators swarming addresses linked to James, including a former home in Wisconsin, and possibly this U-Haul rental office in Pennsylvania, where James may have rented the truck he's seen driving in this video, posted to his YouTube account hours before the first shots rang out.
I am driving because I started my trip early.
Prior to the shooting, authorities say James posted several incendiary videos to YouTube, including one saying, "I'm 62 now, full of hate, full of anger, full of bitterness."
There were some postings possibly connected to our person of interest where he mentions homelessness, he mentions New York, and he does mention Mayor Adams. And as a result of that, in an abundance of caution, we're going to tighten the mayor's security detail.
Investigators say that U-Haul later found abandoned on the side of a Brooklyn highway near the station where the shooter boarded that train and rode for 8 stops before the attack began. Tributes for the victims pouring in, including from President Biden.
Jill and I are praying for those that are injured and all those touched by that trauma. And we're grateful for all the first responders who jumped into action, including civilians who didn't hesitate to help their fellow passengers and try to shield them.
Now, the 36th Street subway station was an active crime scene all day yesterday as that investigation went on. But this morning, it is open and in service for commuters. But for any nervous New York City commuters out there, Mayor Eric Adams says the city is now considering installing metal detectors, and there will be an increased police presence in stations throughout the city.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.